Oh my gosh. Do you know what this is? Do you know what this is? By George, that's a prison. And this is the Sometimes Vlog. Yeah, yeah. It's a vlog that happens sometimes. Not every time, not all the time. Occasionally, and every once in a while, we get a little action going. Now, the Sometimes Vlog has almost always been filmed with a cell phone camera. And over the years, as Randomland has gotten higher and higher and higher quality, the Sometimes Vlog disappeared. And I've recently brought it back, a time where we can share together, we can walk around together at random, we can see strangers again, we can talk to strangers again, we can do anything we want to. It's our vlog. But seeing how far Randomland has come visually in 4K and everything, I wanted the Sometimes Vlog to come back in a better quality. And so today, I am doing something I have never done before, and I am testing out different cameras to do the Sometimes Vlog with. Different cameras, different audio setups. You might have noticed I got a little quieter once I disappeared off the camera, but I think that's okay. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem, at least in this context. So expect experimentation here over the next couple days. Welcome to Yuma Prison, something I've been filming for the first episode of season 10 of Randomland. Let me show you the money shot really quick. Wait, well, hold on. We were gonna see the money shot. We were gonna see the inside of the prison. This is Yuma Territorial Prison. This was a very important prison in the Old West. They call it the Alcatraz of the Old West. And check this out. Look at that. I hear the train a-comin'. It's rolling round the bend. In the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Yuma Prison. Ah, yeah, you see what I did there? All right, let's go see the money shot. So I'm out at Yuma Prison. I'm out here filming a little random, the first episode of season 10 of Randomland, our 10th year. And I would show you all around. The problem is I just filmed a long, lengthy, edited, nicely constructed, nicely framed video. Look at that. Here we go. Okay, hold on. Back up a little bit. Here's the money shot. A convict is making his escape over here. Anyways, I've been out here pretty much all day. I woke up this morning in Yuma. Hello. Oh, they're making a jailbreak. They're making a jailbreak. I woke up in Yuma, Arizona here, just over the river from California. As a matter of fact, that train was crossing a bridge. It's probably still crossing. These trains are really long. I just sat there and filmed for the end of Randomland a time lapse of one of the trains going by, and it was 6 minutes. 6 minutes and 10 seconds of train rolled by. It hasn't even been, oh, I don't know, 10 minutes. And now another huge train cruising through. Look at the size of it. Look at the size of that bridge right there. Halfway across that is California. And that is the Colorado River that comes right down to the Grand Canyon, all the way down to the Gulf of California and out into the Pacific Ocean. Okay, so we're gonna go through the museum here at the Territorial Prison. What was I talking about? Oh, I remember now, hold on. So we're gonna be quiet. Oh, hello. And, excuse me. We're gonna be quiet in the museum. Wait a minute, what am I saying? It's not a library, it's a museum. It's a pretty cool museum. The whole place is a museum, really. It belongs in a museum. It is a museum. Anyway, this was the Alcatraz of the Old West. And now you saw that money shot, you saw the cell blocks. Yuma is a pretty gnarly place. It gets well above 100 degrees most of the year. Even in the wintertime like now, it's probably in the 70s. It's really nice outside. But I was standing still getting time lapses of the trains coming by, and just for 5 or 6 minutes standing in the sunshine holding still with the camera, I was burning up, and you get all dry, your throat gets all dry, your mouth loses moistness. Anyway, I should let you know, experimenting with the camera wise, and I'm gonna flip you back around again. Hopefully it's nice and stable. Hopefully it doesn't look too bouncy. This is all an experiment, so but there could be wind noise, there could be weird digital things that happen. I have no idea. I've never ever used this kind of a setup before. The sound could be bad, the picture could be bad, but hopefully, I'm thinking hopefully this will look pretty good. We won't be able to zoom in on stuff, but we never have been able to anyways. I've the idea is hopefully it's a little less shaky. But one of the caveats is I don't know for how long I can keep the camera going. So we'll either be going for, it's been about 5 minutes, or we'll be going for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Who knows? So I don't know if I'm going to run this all the way to the end of the battery. Oh, there's the end of the train. That is California right there. That is California on that side of the river. And that down there is the luscious Colorado. We're going to get closer to it, though. We're going to get closer. Let's get out of prison. We're going to make a break for it. We are going to make a little bit of a jailbreak, and we're going to cruise through here and get the heck out of here. But anyway, anything could happen if I get suddenly cut off. If you can't hear something, just know that I didn't have time to build this vlog to scale or to paint it, or just experimenting here. So here we go through the gift shop. The only prison where they want you to take a gun with you, because there's guns in here, not real ones. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, I had a great time in there. Oh, there's the guns. The only prison where they want you to walk away with the gun. The only one. Anyway, so now I'm outside. I have made my escape from Yuma Prison. I don't know why I'm still talking so quietly, but there it is. The beautiful Colorado River down there. Okay, it's not that beautiful. It's kind of an eyesore to us. Lots of dirt, and there's a ton of bridges and a freeway over there. Much more beautiful this way. But let me tell you, even with the bridges and whatever, when you were crossing the desert back then, and it would not have been nearly this green, there wouldn't have been sprinklers and agriculture back in the 1870s when Yuma was getting going. I think the prison's first year, the railroad's first year was 1877, so the prison's first year was 1876, which means the first convicts came here in 1875, started quarrying out the rock and building what would become their own cells. That's a bummer. That's like the cowboy movies where they make you dig your own grave, right? There's the main guard tower. So all that's in the Random Line episode, which may take a little while to edit, so maybe you'll see this first, I'm not sure. But one thing I did not do on the main channel episode was to come outside of the prison gates and go check out the prison cemetery. There wasn't enough time. I wanted to keep it kind of short. Plus, I love leaving little things. Especially if you'd have to squeeze them in and do them poorly. I like to leave little things undone during certain adventures, so that there's like that little bit of a nugget of an excuse to come back, and at least you'd be doing something differently. I don't know why I hunch over whenever I'm filming. Why don't I just stand up straight? I can hold the camera as high as I want. I don't know, for some reason I'm always hunching over. But there's the land ship Enterprise over here. So I've been referring to it on this trip. Each trip it seems to have a different name. It should have been the Huck Finn, because it's kind of scoundrelly, a little ragged and all that. There's the land ship Enterprise right there. And I'm intentionally kind of shaking this camera up, trying to see just how shaky it gets. And beyond it, out here past the parking lot, just past that sign, I think, when you enter the parking lot, is the prison's cemetery. So all this would have been within prison walls. We're still on the prison property. The prison walls, from what I understand, would have extended the length of the parking lot, and are now, the foundations are under the modern parking lot. But check this out. This little knoll here coming off this main hill. We are on a hill with kind of cliffs and stuff. That little knoll out there is the prison cemetery. And look at this path right here. You see this path? So I don't know what this is actually for. Probably walking and hiking around. We see a bunch of little trails and stuff. I saw two dudes out here doing the coolest thing. They had RC cars, like off-road RC cars. One had a modern looking Bronco one, another one had a different one. And they were just doing like little RC cars along that trail there, which, if that's not what it's meant for, they should totally build something like that out here, shouldn't they? What happens if I do this, by the way? Does that make you sick? Maybe I won't do that again. So anyway, I haven't walked out this far. And forgive me if I sniff, and if I'm sniffing a lot, it's just because it's the first day out in the desert. It's always a dry doozy. You get all dried out and desiccated. So there's a trail over there to the cemetery, but I'm gonna cross really quick just to show you the sign. And I believe we saw the sign here. Ooh, there's a little wind. So this is all useful to me. We're testing the wind. We're testing the durability. How long can we film for? What's going on? And I'm sure there are other lengthier batteries and battery packs and different things that we can get. But I'm trying to upgrade one step beyond the cell phone and still be able to do off the cuff, have a tiny camera, and be able to do what we want. So we're doing a little action cam action today. There it is, there's a sign. Yuma Territorial Prison. I actually have some wireless mics I was hoping to test as well. I'm not a gear person. I kind of suck at it. Every time I buy a piece of gear, I regret it. Even the camera I use now, which is a Sony camera, I kind of hate. I loved the Canon cameras. They just felt better in the hand. more user-friendly. I like the colors better. I really like the autofocus better. Not a big fan of it. The picture quality is great. It's a lot harder to use. Every shot requires pretty much manual focusing, or if not manual focusing, using the autofocus and then switching to manual focus because it has a weird focus breathing problem. All kinds of things that I'm sure some gearhead could figure out. But Sony put out a bad batch of cameras or something, and they won't fix it. So in fact, they even delete it when you make mention of my particular problem in their help forms. They just delete it. So I don't know what's going on there, but one day, you know, I was in it for thousands of dollars, and as you do, and there won't be a switch up in gear for that for a long time. It looks great, and I make it look easy, but it's not easy. It's been the hardest camera to use, making me feel like the sort of off-the-cuff kind of quality of it's been lost because it takes so long to film videos, and it got harder and harder for me to like just, you know, include other people in the video. It has a really hard time focusing on two people at once. It has a really hard time. I cannot get that thing, no matter what lens I put on that bad boy with the full frame sensor, to have sort of infinity focus and have myself in the background in focus. So I don't know. I have some gearhead friends who have messed with it, and they're just like, yeah, it's as good as it gets. It looks great. What are you complaining about? I mean, okay, as long as it looks great, I guess it's worth the extra work. But it definitely made me miss the sometimes vlog even more, and just being off the cuff and off the beaten path, as it were. Off the beaten path. Let's go off the beaten path. Oh, we're on the less beaten path. So I'm gonna go check out the prison. And that's why you don't go off the beaten path, because then it beats up your feet and you fall down the beaten path to your death. So let's go to the prison cemetery, a place that's fun for the whole family, a place where clearly people come out and picnic. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're back on the beaten path now. Thank goodness, because I was about to trip over myself. I switched shoes. A drone! Do you hear that? That's why I don't fly drones around, because they're very loud. So I very rarely have one. I almost never use it. I think the batteries are locked. So like if you don't use the batteries for a long time, they lock so that they don't explode, is the way it's been explained to me. Okay, here we go. Prison cemetery. Anyway, look at that. Look how cute. Oh, how fun. What a fun one. It looks just like Knott's Berry Farm's Boot Hill. Well, clearly Walter Knott, I know he went all over the West, and so did some of his artists for inspiration. I know they visited Tombstone's Boot Hill Cemetery, also in Arizona, which also, by the way, has a lot of rocks piled on the graves. And you did that so that coyotes, wolves, other animals didn't dig down, raccoons, squirrels, anything, excuse me, didn't dig down and disturb the remains. He piled rocks on them. Look at that. But in some areas, he didn't even get that because they didn't, you know, back then there was not a lot of understanding between peoples, and some of the Anglos didn't want, they thought the natives would be disturbing the graves and vice versa, so they would try to hide the graves as best they could. But there you go. I don't know how accurate the piles are to the graves these days, but there you go. Look at all these guys. In memory of the inmates who lost their life while serving their sentence at the Arizona Territorial Prison at Yuma. Wow. Look at that. Some of these guys, no doubt, are ones that we told some of the stories about in the Random Land videos. 3,069 convicts. And did you know that at least a third of them were here for burglary? That's something I learned today while I was in the museum. It's included in the video. And comparatively few were here for murder, for the obvious reason. It dawned on me as I was thinking, wow, not a lot of murderers went to jail back then. Well, duh, because they'd get convicted in whatever home county they were in and probably hung right there at the courthouse or in town square. They weren't shy about a necktie party back then. It was a swinging good time, as my friend Ken the blacksmith would say. So now let us trod, let's go this way, down the path. And how bad is it, you know? I don't leave comments on this channel for a reason. I hate comments. I hate YouTube comments in particular. Now, most of you are fine, kind, wonderful, nice people who leave nice comments, and I'm not trying to avoid the nice comments, really, or the rude comments. It's mostly that I have a whole philosophy about this. If you're willing to believe all the good things people say about you, then you're opening yourself up to believe all the bad things that people say about you. You should have trusted people in your life. This is very important. Here's some advice. Not that I'm qualified to give anybody advice on anything, but for what it's worth, nickel's worth of free advice. You should have a handful of qualified people who are smarter than you, nicer than you, more successful than you, and people that you trust in your life to tell you the honest truth and to tell you things you don't want to hear. Everybody needs those people. If you have a friend who's always telling you things you don't want to hear and you feel like they're not supportive, that might be your most supportive friend. That might be the friend you want to keep around the most, because you need those people in your life. What you don't want to do, and what I think a lot of people make a very big mistake when it comes to the internet, is open yourself up to everybody, just no filter, being able to give you different advice, because you're going to get 10 different directions all at once, and you're also going to get all kinds of criticism. You open yourself up to be praised. You're so great, you're so wonderful. Then the next time somebody comes along and says, you're so horrible, it might hurt your feelings. It's not going to hurt my feelings because, I've been doing this for a very long time, but even before that, I was in a band for years and years and years with people 5 inches from my face screaming at me and throwing bottles at my head and pulling out knives and doing all kinds of crazy stuff that we lived through on the road. So, there's some crazy stories there. Maybe we'll tell them sometime. In fact, this is the 10th anniversary of the band breaking up and the 20th anniversary this year of the band starting. And so I kind of have some plans, some things I'm thinking over in terms of that. But I'm sure there'll definitely be some opportunities to film, talk about stories and different things from the band days. Maybe with some of the guys from the band, some of the guys who were part-time in the band, some of the full-timers, all that kind of stuff. So I think some band stories will come out this year. But anyway, the point is, find a few trusted good people. Get your advice from them. So that's one reason. Another reason is just the sheer volume. In the olden days, I used to answer a lot of the comments, and then it just got to be so much. And then people would get mad if I didn't answer their comment. And I was like, man, this is crazy. And then another reason was when Allie moved in with me, there was somebody who just wanted to put all this information out there and say all this crazy stuff. It was her deal, her family conflicts that she had, and this person or persons made millions and millions of sock puppet accounts. It was just easier to go, they were being filtered. We had volunteers to filter them just for certain safety purposes. That's way less of a concern now. But then YouTube made it harder and harder to filter. And then once you have thousands of videos, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 videos, it's a lot harder to filter out or go through all the comments on all those videos, much less answer them all. Okay, here we go. We're gonna go under the bridge. Wow. Man, the train's coming over that thing. It took 6 minutes each. I was just quiet for a second because there's somebody sitting on that bench, looking up, having a nice peaceful moment, looking at the bridge, and I did not want to disturb their reverie. So if you hear me go silent, oh, there's also a bunch of people who camp down here and kind of live down here, and so when we're going through their areas, that's another reason you might hear me go quiet. So if there's just a moment of silence, just enjoy the beautiful Yuma scenery down here underneath the bridge. Compass sprung a leak. Wow, look at that. There it is, right down there. Check it out, the Colorado River. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, has it got to be thousands and thousands of videos? It was just too hard. Plus, I'm just not a fan. It's just better. I think it's better if people come over to the Facebook group, currently called the Sometimes Mob. I think that's going to change, but all the links will always be down in the current videos to that stuff, or over onto Instagram, or somewhere where I might actually see it. And it also stops a lot of the fly-by-nights, because I would say a giant chunk of the comments is just fly-by-night people who are just there to say something rude or stupid or not worth reading. And the good folks and the people who stick around or have seen a lot of stuff or have a legitimate question or something like that, they usually find me on other stuff. Anyway, so because YouTube comments have always been a hellscape, they have been for the entire 10 years of Random Land, and even longer when I was in the band, I've just chosen to really focus on other places. And the only reason people leave comments on, trust me, because I've talked to tons of people who make YouTube videos. Every other person I know who makes YouTube videos, I've had the conversation with every single one of them. And they all say, dude, you can't do that. You can't turn off comments or filter the comments. It ruins your engagement, man. You won't make as much money and this and that. And I just don't care about that. You know, oh, the video won't go viral. So be it. So I do want to hear from everybody. It's just not here, over somewhere else. So if you see them disabled, that's the reason they're disabled. So you go down, you see the links to other stuff, and then we can communicate in other places. Hello. Oh, there's got a big old family party going on over there. Anyway, that's it. That's the Colorado River. That's California on the other side. Check that out. So yeah, so this is a good experiment, good time to hang out. And it was the first video of 2023. I wanted to cross over to the farther shore and check out Yuma Prison is up there behind these bridges, and check out a place that I have always heard of. Believe me, everywhere I've gone in the West, all these old West towns and ghost towns, everywhere I've gone, particularly any place I've gone in Arizona. Wow, look at all those pigeons. Can you see those? Like Tombstone, every time I go to Tombstone, they're like, oh, you been to Yuma yet? You been out to the Territorial Prison? Like, nobody lets me forget that I've never been out there. Lots of people, oh, he's talking to this lady, I thought he was talking to us. So many people over the years have told me, Yuma Prison, you gotta go there, you gotta check it out. And I did, finally, today, for the first time ever, bucket list. It's just that Yuma, Arizona, I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, is sort of halfway between San Diego and Phoenix. Could you put it like that? It's right on the Arizona-California border. That is California right there. That way, you keep driving and eventually you'll get to Phoenix. That way you keep driving, eventually you get to San Diego. So pretty cool. But I've never had to come through this way. We've always gone to Phoenix from where I live on I-10, and we never in the band years ever had occasion to travel down Interstate 8. And so there's this whole bottom portion of California that I think I drove through once at night on my way home from a crazy cross-country road trip. And that's about it. I've never really spent any time down here, and thus never did any Ramland filming. I never got a chance to check out the Yuma. I keep wanting to say Yuba because Allie's from Yuba City. I keep wanting to say Yuba City, the Yuma Territorial Prison, the Arizona Territorial Prison. So that was the Alcatraz of the Old West. And this is a fun camera test, which rhymes with West. Ha ha ha. So this morning, I started off the video walking all down here. Did that for the morning announcements too over on Patreon. It's just like my third or fourth time walking this path, but it's just too cool not to show on camera. Too cool not to appreciate. Like, just look at that is so cool. So I was just thinking of all the guys that were crossing. If you were coming from the west, from the California side, you would have been coming through the Imperial Dunes, these huge sand dunes. And in the automotive days, they had a plank road, like a wooden plank road for the cars to drive on so they wouldn't sink into the sand. I think I'm gonna go check that out tomorrow. And the Imperial Dunes, specifically Buttercup Valley and the Imperial Dunes, that's where they filmed Return of the Jedi. They filmed Jabba's sail barge and some scenes from that movie, which is very cool. And I know I have seen those before, so I have driven that highway before, but a lot of times in the band, there are places we would go a lot. So say like portions of Pennsylvania where we'd be over there for a little while, and so I'd get a chance to go to Gettysburg, or we'd be in Virginia and DC, and we'd do a couple shows that were close enough together that you kind of had time during the day where you weren't driving 8 hours or whatever to stop and spend time in places. But especially if we weren't playing a show in some town, we were just driving through. So in this situation, we would have been just driving from Phoenix trying to get home, or from home trying to get to the first show in Phoenix or El Paso or something like that. There was often no time at all to stop. And so I certainly wouldn't have got a chance to get out and see anything that far off the road. So lots of roadside attractions, but so many historical things that I knew about or I would read about and go, oh, I was right there, and never get to see until the past 10 years of doing Randomland and traveling around and going to see a lot of them with you. Other places, yeah, I got to go to a lot, like Civil War battlefields and stuff like that, because like I say, you're doing a show in Baltimore, you do Richmond, Baltimore, and then DC, then maybe a show up in like New Jersey or something like that. So I would spend a while in the region, let's say, of DC, and within an hour or two of battlefields. And so because the drives weren't long and those cities were close together, there was time during the day to go, come on guys, please, I gotta go to Bull Run or whatever. But yeah, Yuma was never really on my map. So I've done a lot of wandering around and checking it out, and I compressed a lot of history into a very short time in the Randomland, so I guess I shouldn't really be retreading over the same turf, but I'm gonna go this way. And unless we run out of battery or filming time, I'm gonna try to go this way over here and show you something cool. So this was the first train in Arizona crossed on a bridge that was right here, right next to where we're standing, up there. And that is in the Random Land video. I think it was even on the morning announcements this morning, because I started those up here. But earlier, when I was in town, there's a lot of firsts here, actually. I should go back. I should back up a little bit. So this is where the Native Americans used to cross the river. And so, of course, when the European explorers came here, they copied them and, you know, would often copy them to find out from them where the best places to cross the river were. Hello. Ooh, good. Oh, you're picking up trash. Good for you. Look at you. Oh, yeah. I barely have the strength to walk, much less walk and pick up trash. And so, of course, the early Spanish explorers, all the way back to the first Spanish explorers out here, even before the Spanish settlers came out here, copied them and would cross over that same spot. So that is where they built the first ferries. That's where the 49ers would cross to get over into California, the southern route. And eventually that's exactly where they put the Southern Pacific Railroad, which came through, as I mentioned, in 1877. And look at that, that's not it. That's not the first locomotive that came through these parts. That's long gone. This one I think is built in 1909. So, but it's pretty cool that they have a locomotive on the exact spot. I'm running out of breath now. It's the stairs. The stairs get me every time from the heart thing. And the heart thing started after that. It was going before, but it got significantly worse after the you know, the pokey poke that we all had to get. The heart doctors have told me, so nothing we could do about it. Just a weird arrhythmia. Just got to be monitored. They just told me not to do the things that upset it the most, which are basically any kind of crazy exercise. Frustrating if you're trying to lose weight. And even though I still am pretty active, you know, running around, walking all over strange towns and whatnot, I try not to run or do too much running and stuff like that. Can't do any jumping jacks anymore. But the things that really bother it are being upside down. I really need I need a third opinion, because I have had second opinions. I need a third opinion. If any of you out there are a professional cardiologist, I would love to have your input. I can give you all the scans and case files and everything, but basically I was told being upside down bothers me, so I can't look under the bed. So if there's a creature under the bed, Allie has to face it, not me, because I can't be upside down that long, or I'll basically get pretty close to fainting. And then the other one is stairs. There's something about that pressure getting back up from being down, and that's very similar to going upstairs. Something about that triggers the arrhythmia in a way. Then your body kind of panics, and so your body is sort of going, oh, something's wrong with you, and it's okay. I've been told, like, it's fine, because I asked obviously about going to haunts and roller coasters and things like that. They're like, no, none of that's gonna get you. If you're having the problem, you stop and do whatever. So stairs kind of get me out of breath. That one just got me out of breath. It didn't affect my head, no pain and stuff, but every once in a while I get the chest pains, I get the whole thing. And when they first told me about this problem, started sticking monitors on me, and I realized that a lot of those grasp your chest moments were not anxiety. There was in fact something wrong with me. It really threw me. There was a good, I would say 8 to 10 weeks, which is very rare for me, where I was depressed. Like, not depressed so much as just shocked. Felt like someone had, you ever been punched in the face, and then that feeling right after, like, oh, you just punched me, and I've been punched. You know, don't tell me what it feels like to be punched. It was that kind of a thing. And I just, you've been hit. Getting up is up to you, you know. Ghost in the darkness, John Lennon. So anyway, it threw me for a loop, but I'm sort of used to it now. I'm sort of living with it. It's fine. It does annoy me to be slowed down a little bit, but overall it doesn't affect me too much, and I suppose that is something definitely to be grateful for. Okay, so here we go. That was a long walk. You can see the prison right there. We just went down to the river and then all the way around and up here, and now we are going to head over into the old downtown of Yuma. I keep wanting to say Yuma City because of Yuba City. Over into Yuma, and it's pretty cool. So there's a couple of old western looking buildings over here, and it's really cute. And this is where I intended to do this camera test. But earlier when I was filming, I was like, oh, I should get some shots of the downtown just to sort of, I like to give context. And so the whole operation with the video is, most people would come, hey, check out this Territorial Prison. And I've seen a lot of photos and stuff of it over the years, and people do their best to make it look like it's way out in the middle of nowhere, or if they film it, they'll show the sand dunes way outside of town and then cut to the prison, so it just looks like it's so remote and far away. And really, it's right down here. It's right downtown next to the freeway. Oh, look at a barbershop right there. House of Fades. I could really use a cut myself, honestly. But anyway, so I came down here to check out the downtown. Oh, and a salon. Weird, they're neighbors. They should marry each other, the owners of those. I came down here, I gotta talk over that music. I came down here earlier to show a couple of shots, and then I found out there's a crazy festival going on, but I figured out that the stage is down in this area closer to the prison, and that if you go to the farther side, you don't hear the loud DJ music, you know, quite as loud, so it's more doable on the other side. Anyway, uh-oh, we got some street youths here. We're going to be attacked. Hello, look at that. We're going to be attacked by street youths out here at the festival, at the Peach Festival or whatever. No, it's not the Peach Festival, it's the Dates Festival. Okay, no, wait, this is the one that was close. One more, we gotta go up one more. So I like to give context. I like to show you, oh, no, it's in the downtown. And more importantly, I like to give historical context for why the prison is here, a little bit more about Yuma, what it is, why it was important, particularly in the Old West. And you get some sense of what was going on around it. And it's not just like, cool, look at the neat old prison. It's more of a, like, in its place in history. So context is very important to me. That's a big part of why I started Random Land, because people weren't giving that for Disneyland and for other places that I wanted to go see, like Marceline, Missouri, places like that. You'd see a clip of something, but you wouldn't see what was around it. And more importantly, I didn't see a lot of stuff that put it into context or was filmed in a way that, I mean, there were some that were filmed beautiful. There were people who definitely wanted to make things look beautiful. It wasn't all just POV shaky nonsense. But I didn't see anybody who was trying to film it in a way where you really felt like you went from one spot to another spot. You really felt like you knew what it looked like to turn around and see the other side of the street by Mark Twain's house, or around the corner down the main street. And so something like the Yuma prison, I want people to see, well, what does the town look like around it and stuff like that. That's a very long-winded, long explanation. It's been a long time since I've done these, so you gotta forgive me. I'm kind of wordy. You know, it takes me a long time to explain things now. I'm not used to just flying off the handle and vlogging non-stop and unedited. I get overexcited, really. I'm all pumped up every time we do this together now. Look at this. Ooh, free stuff. Just kidding, I don't think that's free stuff, but abandoned stuff. Abandoned stuff. We could do a whole Urbex video. Look at, guys, abandoned stuff. Ooh, spooky. It's 2012 and we're filming abandoned stuff. Okay, that was just for me to breathe. Oh, is that a tongue? Ew. Oh, no, it's corn. It's corn. A dog. So, good news. I saw a dog today. 2 dogs. We might even see 3 dogs. Look at that. That is cool. That's what I wanted to come see. I like that someone put the sticker down near the bottom. Look at this. Very good advice. Very good advice. I tried to do it. I try to do it with the very handful of people that I feel like it's my duty to check in on. Do you have people that you regularly check in on? Check in on them. Don't check in on me, I'm fine. I'm right here with you. But here we go. So, yeah, so I like to give the context. I like to give a little bit of background, a little bit of extra stuff. So basically I walked all of the TLDR is I walked all over this whole town to do that, and then I landed smack dab in the middle of this festival. So I was gonna start you off over here. This was a perfect place to do a little sometimes vlog, just show you a little bit of the festival I couldn't put in the main video. But then I did not do that. I started at the prison because I thought that was also cool to see the cemetery, which we didn't see in the other video. Look, hungry? Hungry? Epcot? Are you hungry for Epcot font? Hungry, gotta eat. Okay, so it's DJ music now. That's really unfortunate. Earlier it was all local bands, and so it was much quieter downtown. But look at this. It's been so quiet all over this town. Very quiet. And there hasn't been anybody anywhere. There were a few people at the prison because it's sort of the busy season for tourists. It's winter, so it's not 117 degrees out here. But otherwise, as I walked around downtown and all over the riverfront, there was nobody but me and a couple of homeless people and a couple of people who were, oh sorry, unhoused people, I believe we're calling them now, and some people who are out there taking like nature photos and stuff like that. So I talked to a few people, but all of a sudden I come around the corner earlier to see what the downtown looks like, and behold, I see this. Oh look, Miss Yuma County, teen and adult. Huh? We got a guy out here having a party. But all of a sudden I turn the corner and there's like tons of cowboys out here earlier because there was a cowboy band down there. We got all kinds of local businesses and local food. Oh, we got local music down here. That's where we're gonna go. So hopefully you can hear me. This is why it's a good experiment, because I didn't know how close to the back of this camera I have to be. The microphone faces this way. I really hope that's, oh yeah, okay. Got a live performer? It's a live performer. So I don't know how loud I have to be heard over that. Most of the time, the random land voice people refer to as being in a theme park and having to project your voice makes it sound a little higher and thinner, I guess. So I get the trolls every once in a while like, why are you talking in that fake voice? It's not fake, it's just me trying to talk over other noise. Okay, so he's doing half and half. Look at this. He's live performing the vocals and not live performing the music. There's an old lady sitting right there on that wall, and she was like, ah, when he started singing again. Oh, it was Granny. And here's her bubble waffles. What the heck is a bubble waffle? What is a bubble waffle? It must look like that. Ooh, gross. That's the, what does it say? The new bubble dog. Ooh. I was just admiring the bubbles. I've never seen that before. I've never seen a bubble waffle. Yeah. That's pretty good.
We brought these from Hong Kong.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow, look at that. Bubble cones, bubble waffles, bubble dogs. All right, that's awesome. I would come back and get some, but of course I can't eat that stuff. Gluten. Ooh, cinnamon rolls. Another thing I can't eat. But look at them. Look at the size of these cinnamon rolls. Look at the size of that line. People are... Smells so good. I can't eat it, but it still smells so good. By the way, another thing I have a problem with a lot of times is people always want to take me to dinner. They're always like, oh, I'd like to buy you a meal, a gluten-free meal. Hello! What do you got here?
We have Yuma Surf Soccer Club.
Okay, so it's for soccer. I was very confused by the word surf. I thought the word surf involved surfing. I was like, well, you're not surfing and playing soccer, right?
We can surf.
Okay.
There you go.
So you're raising money.
Yes, sir.
Oh, look at that. Oh, you take Venmo. That's awesome.
For field equipment.
If I get some cash, I'm going to come buy water from you. Bye. What's I talking about? Oh, so people always want to take me out for food. They ask, where can you eat and stuff? And I don't really eat out anywhere because of the celiac disease and because I'm so sensitive, and it really bums people out, but I'm always okay. But people always ask me like, don't you miss this kind of food? Okay, see here we're at the rump end of this, so it's not as packed. Believe me, if we'd have gone the other way, it gets more and more densely packed until you're in front of the big DJ stage. Hey guys, and this is very not packed. Look at that. Ooh, free sample. Free sample of something I probably don't want to try, but that's okay. Look at Cutco. We got Cutco out here. Another dog. What is that? Dude, it's a mobile bookstore. That's genius. Look at that. A mobile books. Look at a mobile bookstore.
Oh, okay. I wasn't realizing.
That is so cool.
Gotcha.
How did the book stay on while you're driving? That's amazing. Look at that. Oh, they must go in the middle. They must go in the middle. That's awesome. I wish that would show up in front of my house. Look at that thing. Sonny's is a mobile bookstore. Sonny'sBookTruck.com. That I've never seen. I mean, I've seen a bookmobile before, but I've never seen a little bookstore like that. That is cool. We got jewelry. Anyway, so this is the less crowded section, and I think past here, we're pretty much going to go to the kids' jumpy house zone, so we probably shouldn't go over there with the camera. Might be a little weird. So there's all these cute stores down here, so what I had intended to do was come down here and check out the downtown, roam around. And I may do that tomorrow, even if the festival is going. It's a lot easier, obviously, to be near the music with an edited video versus something like this where the camera's going. Look at that cowboy. Now see, I always wonder this. A lot of Native Americans that I know, a lot of friends scattered across different reservations in different places in the country, they'll refer to themselves using the word Indian, and they'll have stuff at their gift shops and all over the res, maybe, of those wooden cigar store carved Indians, and they don't care. Other places, other people, other tribes, other peoples really, will have a completely different opinion. You know, they might not want that stuff, or it might be sort of sensitive or bring up bad feelings or whatever, and so they'll try to get them removed from certain places. Other places is fine, it seems like, but you know, certain places And I always wondered, why don't people put more carved cowboys up then? You'd have the same thing, or at least balance it out. Have a cowboy there as well, or a rancher or something. So I like to see carved cowboys every once in a while. It makes it more fun, you know? So let's have everybody, if we're gonna have some people in wood, let's have everybody in wood. Oh, there's the porta potties. Anyway, there was an antique store back there. There's some quality clothing over here. We got some Yuma youth outside, getting to know the people of Yuma. So it was cool coming down here earlier because, uh-oh, we got La Bamba. Because I did manage to, see, it's so loud. As soon as you cross the street, it gets super loud. So we're gonna go this way. Oh, see, look at all the little Main Street boutiques. Uh-oh. We're in for a smell. Ooh. It mostly smells blue still, so that's good. What you don't want is to walk by those when they don't smell blue anymore, and they just smell brown. Oh, gray water. Anyway, so when I was down here earlier, I did manage to, so I had the regular camera and I wasn't just straight rolling like this, and there wasn't DJ music playing, it was live bands. I was able to talk to a lot of people, so just bumping into people, like, hey, what you doing? You getting some good pictures? I just talked to people. So it was kind of cool to run into the whole town basically all at once, because I was getting bummed this morning, like, oh, I'm not gonna meet any humans. Not humans, humans down here. Look, that's the old archway over the downtown. They have a newer one now. It says Historic Downtown Yuma. And there you go, a little native history, a little, what does that say, public school. There's the train coming in. So I did get to meet a bunch of folks from the town, which is cool. There's a lot of places you travel. Well, I seek people out. I go to different places, and I, usually not on camera, because not everybody wants to be on camera, and then randomly it's hard to incorporate other people. Part of why I wanted to bring the sometimes vlog back. Like there, you know, if I'm recording, say hi to people. I'm not gonna shove the camera in their face unless they're like, hey, 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 like those ladies at the Bubble Cone or at the other place. Then I will. So we'll hopefully be able to do more of that with this setup. But normally in between filming the Randomland stuff, I do seek people out and talk to people in local communities all up and down Route 66. I'm talking to people all the time, talk to people at the hotels I stay at, and go outside. It's part of the fun of those motels versus camping out in the middle of nowhere by yourself. You know, you walk outside the motel, there's a little fire pit, you talk to everybody about the road and everything. So I was getting bummed this morning because like I said, I couldn't see anybody down here. Are you waving at me? Are those people waving at me? I can't tell if they're waving at me or not. But yeah, so I was getting bummed, like I'm not gonna meet any people from Yuma. I think I might be meeting some people from Yuma right now. We'll find out. They're yelling, I think they're yelling, Justin. Look at that, See America by Greyhound. Look at that. See America by Greyhound. Okay, they look happier that I'm getting closer, so hopefully they were yelling my name and they weren't yelling at a different Justin who was standing just behind me. We'll find out right now. Let's see if we can meet some humans. Were you yelling for me? Okay, okay. I said it's okay if I put you on camera. Okay.
Oh, you're fine.
We're just going. I'm just rolling like
you're one of my favorite
What's
YouTubers,
your name?
Eddie.
Eddie. I was just making sure it wasn't another Justin standing right behind me or something like that.
No.
Eddie, hi guy. What's your name?
Malachi.
What is it, Malachi?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Jade.
Hi, nice to meet you guys. Are you from Yuma?
Well, actually from California.
From the other side, Winter Haven or something?
Inbound, 2019.
Oh, you moved to Yuma?
Yes.
How do you like it though?
Love it.
Do you like the I was bummed out because I was walking around all morning, different places, and I was like, oh, I'm not gonna meet anyone from Yuma. Then I turned the corner and there was a festival. What is that?
I just found out about it this morning.
I know, because it was probably not going on during COVID, and you just moved here in 2019, right?
Yeah.
Where were you from in California?
From Blythe.
Oh, from Blythe. So
Right
you're
on
used
the
to the
river.
desert. You're used to the weather then.
Yes.
So why Yuma instead of Blythe? Bigger. I don't think Blythe has
cheaper living.
Blythe doesn't have a Target either, does it? So there's not even
Walmart.
and there's 2 Walmarts here.
Oh, there's 3.
There's 3?
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. I saw 3 or 2. I saw 2 of them last night. I was like, there's 2 Walmarts in Yuma. I've never been down here. So I went to the prison, and then I was filming like where the first train came and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So that's awesome. It's nice to meet you guys. That's so
you
cool. That's
too.
so random. It was far enough away. I was like, are they yelling at? Because that happened to me earlier. Someone's like, Justin, at the prison. Someone's like, Justin, Justin. And I was like, yes. And they were like, oh, not you. They're the other, you know, they were like looking for their kids. So.
Well, I saw you
awesome.
one eating ice cream. I was like, yeah, it's Justin.
That's awesome. Well, say hello to everybody. I'm headed back to the prison. That's where I left the van. So
Okay.
I got to go back to prison. But it's nice to meet you, Eddie,
Nice
right?
to finally meet
yeah,
you.
nice to meet you guys. See you later.
All right, have fun.
That's cool. So we see, like, there we go. We met some humans right there. All right, we're going back over here just really quick because I want to see that ghost sign. I want to take a picture of it. The Hotel del Sol, the Hotel of the Sun. Now, looks a little bit abandoned, a little bit heimbucked right there. But I love that ghost. See that ghost advertisement? It's the wrong time of day to be shooting that. But you can see, let's see if I can get closer. Hold on. Let's see if we can get a little closer. Hopefully you can hear me when the camera's flipped around, or this is gonna be a very bizarre video, and kudos to you for making it this far. Look at that. Lots for sale or lease. C.A. Modesty, but see this one is this one I'm trying to show you. See America. Wow, I guess it was better from across the street by Greyhound. And then look at this old hotel. All abandoned. You can see the lath and plaster up there. All totally heimbucked. But that is cool. This is the kind of thing I would love to own. Wow. This is the kind of thing I would love to own if I had the resources to fix it. Because obviously if somebody bequeathed this to me right now, how could I like find the money to fix it? Or, you know, how could I couldn't do it. So I think about that all the time. Ooh, wouldn't it be cool? You know, someone out there left me a hotel. Well, if you leave me a hotel, please leave it in better shape than this. Someone just leave me a house. I'd love to have a house to live in.
What's going on here today?
It's some kind of like a festival. There's some kind of like date festival or something like that going on. So
I didn't know what was going.
yeah, everybody's partying down there, I guess. Hey, look at that. I'm in the know. I'm a local now. Yeah. I don't know what I said yes to you, but Fiesta, yeah, okay. The Fiesta's that way. I think, right? Am I right? Anyway, don't leave me a hotel like that. But wouldn't it be cool if you had the money, come to a smaller town? It is a little cheaper in Arizona than California, but I would assume it would still cost quite a bit, particularly in the desert, to completely fix that up. So, yeah, wouldn't it be cool if you could own a place like that, especially in like a cool downtown like this? Which I realize is only cool, as I'm saying that, because it's winter time and we're in like snow bunny temperatures and people can actually come outside and enjoy it outside. By the way, I'm just walking through a parking lot. That's why I'm not showing you this direction, because there's really nothing to see. Ooh, the Armed Forces Park. Anyway, this is what I do everywhere. I just don't normally do it on camera, ever. I wander the town, get to know the place. Hello. And usually talk to more people. I'm shy about talking to people with the camera for some reason. I don't know why. It's something you get back into. So it's like, you know, it's like riding a bike. It'll come back to you. But look at all this. Look at this like sort of Art Deco front to this obviously much older building. I love stuff like that. So I'll walk around and look at the architecture and stuff. By the way, the battery is now getting pretty low. So I think we're at the limit of how long I can do it with these type of batteries. You see what I mean here? Look at this much older building. See? And then see how it segues. That looks like 19 teens or 20s to me. It segues into this sort of older Art Deco-y kind of building. You see what I'm saying? A little Art Deco? Am I wrong? Is that the wrong era? I don't think so. So I like walking around and seeing stuff like that. Oh, a kitty! Hi, kitty! Oh, look how fluffy. Oh, he's shy. See, he's camera shy. You don't want to stick the camera in everybody's face. And that's why I don't live stream. Because with this, if somebody really objected, was like, oh, hey, can you not? I could always cut that part out. I could, or it comes out later. People don't know exactly where that family is or anything like that. Or, you know, I don't know, stuff like that. Another kitty. Did you hear it? So anyway, I'm walking back to the prison now, which is just on the other side of that hill. But there's, of course, a freeway and a lot of buildings and blockage in front of me. And I just realized I actually have to go way back to the left through downtown again to get there. I was walking this way as if I can just walk over the freeway. Nope. But there's one more building down here at the end. I'm hoping the battery will last long enough for us to be able to see it. Pretty cool though. I'm not gonna lie, I've been in a lot of desert towns. Spent time in Blythe and Needles and Quartzsite and all that. Quartzsite's pretty cool, but there's a lot of desert towns where I'm excited because there's a lot of history and I'm interested in all the weird obscure stuff or the Old West stuff, and I kind of like the desert weather. Allie, not so much, you know, that kind of thing. But I have to admit, a lot of desert towns, particularly in the California desert or the western side of Arizona, are not all that nice. They have the same problems that a lot of American small towns have, only on top of that, they're out in the desert. So you see a lot of stuff like that. A lot of dirt, a lot of rocks, a lot of people with no permanent housing who come out here during the winter because it's a lot easier to survive out here, obviously, during the winter. Hopefully they're not stuck out here in the summer. That's the real dangerous part. And houses that you look at and you don't know, is it occupied? Is it not occupied? So there's a lot of stuff like that because you can't really keep a garden growing and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of small towns, there's not a lot of money. So there'd be a lot of homes and things that were, oh, I can go this way. Okay, cool. A lot of homes and things that were built up, or like hotels. Like one of those hotels has survived. So there's another big hotel right here. Big old fancy turn of the century hotel. But there's a lot of places like that that haven't survived, and there isn't a big enough economy in the small towns to turn them around. But Yuma, I'm pleasantly surprised, has a lot more going on for it than I thought. Like I said to the guy, 3 Walmarts apparently. There's a Target. You know it's a good town if there's a Target. That's always a good sign. And so a lot more prosperity here than I thought. Really, really friendly people. Although you find that pretty much everywhere in America. You'll find seediness and you'll find friendly people. But a lot of friendly people today. People talking to me down by the river. In a van down by the river. I actually had my van down by the river, and that's why people were talking to me like, oh, you camping here? I was like, no. I'm just going to the thing. And there was other people camping there and talking to me about the rigs and stuff. So I had all these conversations with all kinds of different folks. I'm going the wrong way. I was supposed to go that way. Instead, no, I'm still going the right way. I'm still going the right way. There's a parking area up here. I gotta follow that driveway. Okay, I kind of know where I am again. It's confusing, I don't live here, but I'm finding out a lot about Yuma. Anyway, I'm pleasantly surprised. A lot of friendly folks, a lot of cool people. What is that? What is that cool piece of Old West stuff? I think we might have just enough battery to reach it. Watch out for snakes and stuff. Somebody warned me today. They were like, hey, watch out for snakes. And I was like downtown? And they're like, yeah, for real. They're like, you can find rattlers anywhere around this town, apparently. Anywhere near the river. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I will heed that warning. Look at that big old thing. What is that? Some kind of piece of hoisting or pumping gear. It's on wheels of some kind over there. Yes, okay, I do remember this now. This is where I was parked this morning. So I go down there, under the bridge, back over to the prison. If only I could just scale the wall of the prison, I'd be in the van. I gotta get back soon because I'm pretty sure that in about 20 minutes, they lock that gate. Look, you can see the way the cells and parts of the prison were just dug straight into the side of the dirt there. I'm actually gonna take a picture of that. I did not get that shot in the video earlier. Taking a picture on my phone. Got it. That's really neat. Didn't get to see that earlier. Cool. So I guess that pretty much wraps it up. I hope it was a successful test in that. Oh, there's the prison bell that just rang. I hope it was successful in that you could hear me. I hope the wind wasn't too bad. So please go over to the Facebook group. I will leave the link down below here. That link might change soon, but I'll leave the link down below. Go over there or go to Instagram. Let me know what you thought of the better quality. Was the wind? It's not very windy out here, but any kind of moving around and any kind of slight breeze, most cameras. So I've got this microphone on here, and I don't know how windproof it really is. So I may try again with some wireless windproof mics, and I'm gonna try a different setup. So give me a little feedback on that. Go over to the Facebook group or over to Instagram. And if you made it this far, pretty much all the way to the very end, find somewhere sneaky to leave me a comment. All the way to the very end, club. You made it all the way to the very end. All right, we are out of memory card. We have, okay, so I could go about 10 minutes longer than this is the maximum. So that's pretty good. A nice sometimes vlog, an hour long-ish sometimes vlog. And there's about 10% battery left. Not bad for 4K. Now I gotta see how long this thing takes to upload in the hotel with hotel Wi-Fi. All right, I'm gonna turn you back around towards me and not film the people over here, a lot of families, and we're very close to a restroom, and nobody wants to be filmed coming into or out of a restroom, and a lot of people camping on the other side of the restroom. So we'll let them have their privacy, what privacy they can, and give them a little respect, because everybody wants respect. And we're gonna head down underneath the bridge. If you see this video, it means I survived. If you don't see this video, or you're the police watching this later, somebody got me under the bridge. The trolls finally got me. It just wasn't the ones I expected. Oh no, oh no. Anyway, 10 years of Random Land. If you're enjoying this, you can always become a member over at Patreon for now. That will one day become randomland.com's deal. There's a whole plan there. It's too long to get into. I talk about on the podcast for Patreon stuff. So that's an option. If you've enjoyed these 10 years, I really appreciate you being around. And let's hope that we're all around together for another 10 years. And let's hope the Sometimes vlog can become a smoother, better looking, and less wind noisy part of that. So hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully this is a pretty good setup, at least for this minimal amount of wind. Now the camera is really going to die, so we've all done our duty. We can go home and sleep well.